Hey friends, Julia here. Today I want to talk to you about feeling uncertain about the future. This applies to any aspect of your life. It could be your health, it could be your relationships, it could be a career change, or a stage of your life that you're just not really sure what to expect coming around the corner or in the next year or so from now. Now, this is something we all have to deal with. We can't read the future. We don't know what to expect. If there's anything these last couple of years during this pandemic have taught us, it's that there are a lot of surprises that can happen. But not to sound negative or sound like it's a lost cause, because it isn't. You know, this is just a fact of life. We cannot read the future. And when we aren't so certain about our futures or ourselves, it can create a lot of anxiety. And I know that's been my experience. And it can seem kind of daunting, the future, when we don't have an idea of like where we're headed. And so I want to give you my framework that I use that I have a feeling is probably really similar to the framework you use. I mean, think about all the things that you've overcome, the transformations and the transitions in your life that you've had, and your process. I think you'll find it's really similar to mine. So the very first one is to make space to rebuild. And what I mean by that is sometimes we need to give up something that we've always done, that we've never really questioned, that has created this sort of foundation for us, because that's not able to support all the future things that we want to build on that foundation. And you might find that you've always done the same. Let's say when it comes to your health and wellness, you've always done the same kind of routine. And it could be a healthy routine or maybe a not so healthy routine. But you're trying to build upon that and make improvements, but it's just not working for you. Maybe there's something in that foundation that just doesn't need to be there anymore, that is unable to be a support for all of that stuff you're trying to build on top of it, for all of the great things that you want to accomplish in the future. It could even be around, let's say, a career. Maybe you're entering a new stage of your life, right? The kids are moving out of the house, and now you've got this opportunity to sort of reinvent your life in some way. What are the things that you've relied upon up until this point to get you to where you are now that might need to change, that can't be the foundation anymore, because they will not be able to support whatever it is you want to create in your future? So it's really important to look at those. And some of the questions you could ask yourself around that is, what isn't working anymore? What is something that I always do that maybe I should put to the side for now and just kind of see what happens? In my own life, I can tell you very recently that I decided to quit teaching yoga for a while. And the reason around that is, I think there's so many wonderful benefits to yoga in terms of the movement and the breathing. It's such a wonderful way to de-stress and to really connect deeper with yourself on a heart level, and just get out of the busyness of life and get back to the truth of who you really are. And but yoga has always conflicted with my spiritual beliefs, and so because of that, I felt it was a good time to just put it aside for now and see what happens, and allow something else to move in to that place, to allow me to build from there. So I'm still in transition, so I'll have to update you later on and let you know how that's working out. But so far, so good. So moving on. So after you've gone through that first step, the second is to let go and cast your cares. Now, those of you who are spiritual, who are Christians, you'll know what that means. Casting your cares means to let go of any stress and anxiety and worry about your situation. And we can do that in so many different ways. We can pray. We can give it up to God. We can journal, let our feelings, emotions come up and write about them. It helps us to understand them better as well. To talk to somebody who we trust, to guide us, to comfort us, and to let us just vent. It's really important to be able to do that. And that just gives you the opportunity to clear your head. So you have greater clarity for whatever, and receptivity for whatever's coming into your life next. So definitely looking at what kinds of emotions are coming up for you when you think about this thing that you're uncertain about. And then the third step is to see the vision. So what that means is to make a decision about what it is that you really want, and stand firm in that decision, and start formulating a vision around it. Where do you see yourself going? What's possible for you? It doesn't have to be a definitive. It just has to be a possibility. What do you see that's possible for you? What are the possibilities? There could be more than one. And just stand firm in your decision that you will find greater clarity, and that you will be successful if you just stand firm in your decision and not go back to your old ways and go back to your old foundation. Just standing firm that you've made a decision, and that you're open to seeing something new, a new vision for your life, or an aspect of your life. And then the next step is to take action. So this is the part where I think it makes the biggest difference for everybody, is to start taking some steps. And even if you are unsure still, which this whole process is about that. So you're really taking action steps, but you're still not certain. It's okay, and you feel scared about it. It's why you need to cast your cares. You need to find a way to let those emotions out and not let them stop you, because you're going to be taking some action. It's really hard to find your way out of the forest if you don't start walking down one of the paths, right? If you just stand there and say, I'm lost, you're just going to stay stuck and lost. You have to start moving in a direction, and finally you'll see a clearing, and you'll see, civilization again, so to speak. But it's hard to do that. I know it's hard to do that, and a lot of feelings will come up around that, and that feeling of uncertainty is surely going to be present and will try and stop you. But you have to stand firm in your decision to find more clarity and see that vision for yourself. That's why we created that vision. And then to cast your cares, to let go of the anxiety and the stress and the worry. Okay? And then the final step is to stay close to support. And for me, that would be to keep faith. And maybe for you, that's the case. Or maybe it means finding people that will support you along the way, that will encourage you, especially, and to allow a new dream or a new vision for your this aspect of your life to flourish. And to really receive that encouragement from people. It's one thing to just like talk about it, but to receive encouragement is so important. And not just from other people, but yourself. You've got to encourage yourself. You have to encourage yourself. I cannot tell you how many times I've encouraged people to start working out and take better care of their bodies, but I can't do the workouts for them. I can't make them eat healthier, right? You have to do that for yourself. You have to be the person that encourages you the most. And if you are not there yet, you've got to work on that. And that could actually be one of those things that you start to, rebuild in your life and build a better foundation around that, so you can be a better supportive person and encourager for yourself. Anyway, I hope that this resonates with you, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to send me a message. And good luck. I hope that you find greater clarity. Take care.